You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What's going down? It is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Welcome back, guys. This is episode number 60 of the podcast. 60 episodes. That's crazy, man. I remember doing the first episode, and here I am, man. Episode number 60. So I kind of feel like this is a baby milestone of the podcast. And, I guess I can look back on this when I get to episode 100 and laugh a little bit. But anyway, that's nor here or there. Let's get into today's episode, guys. And I just want to start off by saying I want to thank all the listeners. I want to thank everybody who's been supporting me in this podcast. Even the guys from, my very first episode, critiquing me and, trying to help me out, creative criticism, if you will. I took no offense to any of it. And everybody who's listening now, I just want to take a look back on this Dragon Ball Super series as a whole. And I've been thinking about it a lot this past week. And I really thought about it late Saturday night because, it was almost like it was like a missing limb, but I could still feel it. I went to the TV and I turned it on thinking that, let's get ready for the next episode. And there is no episode. It's done. It's over. So it's probably going to take me, a couple weeks to kind of let that feeling die down or whatever, to where I'm used to not, watching Dragon Ball. You know what I mean? And I'm sure some of you guys feel the same way. At least that's how I feel. I can't speak for anybody else, but that's what it is for me. And, I was trying to figure out, where I was going to go next. What's the next step? Like, there's no Dragon Ball really. So what is there going to be that I would be discussing, talking about, or whatnot? And, there's so many things, man, that I could kind of branch off to. And thinking about Dragon Ball Super as a whole, all I can say is I'm very, very proud of what they've done with Dragon Ball Super with these 131 episodes we have right now. I look forward to actually watching it again, but watching the English dub version of it all, because we've seen the Japanese. I'm waiting a little bit longer until they get closer to completing all of the season 1, I guess, if you will, episodes, and I'll be getting into that. Kind of what I'm trying to do with Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, the kind of thing. But Dragon Ball Super as a whole, man, I'm very proud of, the characters and their development. And I was thinking about that a lot. And Frieza, completely, had me shook. I fell in love with another character watching this series, which is Jiren. So, I was wondering if that was going to happen or not. Because usually when you have a new series and you have new characters, I always find myself asking myself, like, is there going to be somebody that's going to catch my attention to the point to where I'm really engulfed in this character and I really want to see this character again, and they become a favorite of mine. And then when that usually happens with me, what I end up doing is, buying merch, drawing pictures, doing things like that, when I find a new character. I've drawn tons of Vegeta pics, Frieza's, and stuff like that, trying to get back into the drawing game. But, I was pretty I was pretty wet, man, when it came to the pen. You know what I mean, and the paper. So I've been inspired. I've been inspired a little bit, so I'm trying to do that. And yeah, man, this series really did something to me, especially the tail end of it. Not since the Black Goku arc, have I been touched, in such a way that made me really marinate on some of the characters in this series, and really made my favorites, made me even love them even more. It was just the development. One thing I do give credit to these guys for is the development of the characters, man. Like Vegeta has come so far. I mean, Vegeta is complimenting people now. He's had another kid. He's growing as a person as well. These things I thought I would never see Vegeta doing, giving other, characters compliments, like complimenting their skill, like Vegeta doing that. It just blew my mind. And then Frieza, I mean, come on, I think you all can agree that nobody saw Frieza doing what he did in this episode, in the final episode. I know I didn't, and I'm one of the biggest Frieza fans out there, man. If you guys were in my house and you looked at my shelf, I've got a pretty extensive Frieza collection in here. You know what I'm saying? Along with Vegeta and along with Ten Shin Han, because those are my top three. And now I have to add Jiren to the mix. Not really knowing too much about him, man. He was kind of short-lived in this series, but man, I know all I need to see about this guy, man. He's a powerhouse. He was a flawed character. He had demons, and he even grew himself as a character. And I can't wait. And hopefully we do get to see him in the future going down the line, because I mean, this motherfucker is just wet. There's no other word I can think of to describe this dude, man. I would love to see him fight Goku again. I would love to see him, just to be honest, I would love to see him have his own series, maybe like a one-off or something like a short story, or maybe even a movie, something that just kind of, reflects on his coming up more in depth and detail, and, how he does his thing, even, just a side piece like a manga, talking about him in his universe, in his world. I think that would be fucking dope, man. I would love to see something like that. But I definitely hope, and I definitely think that he will be integrated in the series going forward, some kind of way. The way that they set it up, it just kind of seems like that's what it's going to be. Same thing with Frieza. Before this arc happened, I could easily say that Frieza was, Goku's like major arch enemy, and he would definitely stab Goku in the back, given the opportunity. Same thing with Vegeta and whatnot. But now, going forward, man, I can't put my money on the table when it comes to that. I think Frieza might just hesitate a minute, you know what I mean? Or a second, because, once you fight with somebody and you share a battlefield with them as opposed to fighting them, and that's kind of like the same thing as well. I mean, their battle was intense. It was drawn out. It was long, and it was gruesome. And especially if you watched, the dub that wasn't Kai, you got that, you know what I mean? It does something to you, you know what I mean? If anything, you develop a sort of respect for that opponent. Case in point, Vegeta, versus Goku, and you just do. And I think that we have yet to see the last of Frieza on the side of Goku and friends. So just keep that in mind when Dragon Ball comes back, and it's going to be very interesting. They definitely set us up to basically want to know and want to find out where everything's going. That's one thing that they did a great job of, and I appreciate that. Yeah, so hats off to those guys. That's my rundown of Dragon Ball Super, the 131 episodes in a nutshell, really quick. I had to lay that down before I moved on with what we're going to talk about next, guys. So I will leave Super where it is, in bed, tucked in, and we will see it again when it wakes up from its long, Beerus-like nap. Now, next thing is like, pretty much what the fuck is next? Like what's going on? Like, Studio MacGyver, what are you watching? What do you want to watch? What are you interested in the anime world right now? And I have to say that, in the anime world, man, which we all live in, I'm sure everybody listening to this, I'm sure we all have other anime that we watch or that we are, fond of or we like a lot. And Dragon Ball is a vocal point here, but there is a lot of awesome anime out there in these anime streets. And I would be remiss to say that I have some on my list. And some anime that I, have been checking for and that I have been watching, and I'm praying that will actually come back. One in particular is Berserk. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Berserk, I've spoken on Berserk a few occasions on this podcast. It's one of my favorite anime besides Dragon Ball, and it's a mixed bag. And I say that because there are a lot of people out here, especially referring to the last couple of seasons of Berserk, that had some, bad shit to say about it. They're not really liking Madhouse Studios, which is the studio responsible for making the last couple of seasons of this anime. They're not really feeling their art style in the way that they move. So they kind of do like a little kind of a CGI type of thing. Sometimes they mixed in with the shit, but I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I thought it was pretty dope. I mean, if you saw the movies that they had, I mean, I thought those were stellar as well. I have all the movies, and I have, the season, that, basically ran, with that, which basically was all three movies, but basically broken down, into more detail or whatever. But a lot of people gripe about Berserk, and they talk about how, they don't like the animation and how they leave a lot of shit out, as opposed to, the manga. And, if you look at it in hindsight, I mean, any manga that has an anime with it, I mean, you're not going to get everything in the manga put in there. It's just not going to happen. There's going to be differences, they purposely make it different somewhat anyway, but you're not going to get everything. It's just not going to happen. But like I said, that's just me on the outside looking in. I mean, it's everybody's prerogative if you don't like it, but I love Berserk. And, it's not necessarily just the art style, about it. I mean, it's the story. It's dark. It's a very dark anime, and it is not for everyone. I mean, it's a lot of blood. It's a lot of sex, rape, all kind of shit in here, man. And sometimes, I have, a taste for that kind of, dark anime, and Berserk is one of those. He's a very interesting character, guys. And if you haven't or don't know about Berserk, Google it, look it up, man, and tell me what you guys think. You should be able to catch something. If you got Crunchyroll and Kiss Anime, you can check it out. Tell me what you guys think. I'd like to hear from you guys. How do you feel about Berserk? People who know about Berserk, how do you feel? Are you happy with Madhouse and how they've been doing it? There hasn't been any word on the season 3, which I'm waiting for. And if it were to come out, it will be coming out this summer, but I can't find any information on it, guys. So maybe they've listened to the people. Maybe they're trying to go at another route or, do something different with it. I don't know. But I hope that they continue the series. I really want to finish watching it because, I will read the manga, go back to the manga, but I stopped because I heard about the anime. So I kind of want to look at the anime, see how far they're going to push it. And then, we'll go from there. If I have to, though, I will jump back on the manga. Don't get it twisted. Anyway, that's Berserk, but that's one of them. Another one that, a friend of mine put me on that I was really, really fond of, man. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard about this one. This is pretty much taking the anime, culture by storm. Probably one of the biggest ones since Attack on Titan, if you can compare it to that. It's My Hero Academia. Now, My Hero Academia is I just thought it was an awesome story, the way that it was written. Season 3 is amongst us, like literally. The next podcast you hear from me, season 3 the debut will have already been shown, and we can talk about a little bit about that hopefully. But My Hero Academia, man, is really about a boy in a world where, everybody is fucking strong. Like the majority of the population has power, some sort of power. I mean, I think like 80% of the population is born with powers, has some kind of, skill, and 20%, is a minority. They're born without them. And this boy, he was born without powers. Both his parents had gifts, but he did not have one. And he wanted to be a hero so fucking bad, man. And it just wasn't happening for him. But there's this character named All Might who is basically like the creme de la creme of this universe. He's like everybody's hopes and dreams and wishes. Even the heroes and everybody who has powers and abilities, they, would want to be this guy. You know what I mean? And he runs into the boy, and the boy is very courageous, man. He's selfless, and he's willing to put his body and sacrifice himself, even though he has no powers or whatnot. And there was an incident that happened, and All Might saw this. He witnessed this, and he was basically looking for his next. He was looking for his next in line. He was looking for somebody to take his place. And there's a dark story behind All Might as well. You know what I mean? And like I said, I don't want to get into it. Like, you guys need to check it out. It's called My Hero Academia. You need to check it out. Season 2 is already out. Season 1 is out on Blu-ray right now. You can actually get that. And season 3 will be debuting April 7th of 2018. So I can't wait for that debut. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next, because the boy is, like I said, I'm gonna leave it alone. I don't want to get all into it like that, but it's definitely something you guys should check out. Google it. I mean, now we live in an age where if you want to know something, man, you can pretty much look it up and find out. It's just so much anime out there. It's kind of hard to choose what you might want to watch or whatever, but this is definitely one I recommend, highly recommend. My Hero Academia. And of course, don't watch season 3 first. You definitely want to start from scratch and then work your way up. But the good thing for some of you guys is that if you're starting from season 1, by the time you finish season 1 and season 2, season 3 might be even over or well into it, depending on how you like to binge on your anime. But I did some crazy shit when I started watching Naruto. I did like 720 episodes. All Naruto, all Shippuden in like 6 weeks. And this was like less than a year ago. You know what I mean? I had never fucked with Naruto before. And my friends finally just got to me and said, man, you sleeping on this series. You need to check it out. And I did. And I thanked them for it. One of my favorite series besides Dragon Ball, Naruto, is the shit. If you guys don't know about Naruto, because I'm sure there's still a lot of people out there who don't know Naruto. I was one of them. And I just, Naruto's suit, it was throwing me off. It was about ninjas and stuff like that. And I love the ninja thing. I love the culture and all of that. And I just didn't see Naruto as a ninja, wearing a, which looked to be like a Nike jumpsuit, an orange Nike jumpsuit with a headband. I just didn't. But after watching it, man, I completely changed my mind. And what's cool about Naruto is the characters that, are around him. You know what I mean? Kakashi, which is one of my favorite characters in Naruto. He is my number one in Naruto. He's one of my favorite characters in anime, period. But yeah, man, you will never know if you don't watch it. And it's definitely something that you guys need to see as well if you haven't. Every character, the story is well written. Everybody's detailed. They have layers to them. I mean, some of the best writing that I've seen, since I've been watching anime. I really love the show, but that's something different. My Hero Academia, check that shit out. And that's pretty much what I'm interested in right now, guys, as far as the anime, because like I said, there's so much of it and time is limited. You only have so much time, and you want to take care of what's in front of you. You try to. I don't like skipping around and jumping around and stuff. I try not to do that. I got enough stuff going on in my life to, try to be doing that. Same thing with video games. I'm a gamer as well. This is also a video game podcast, guys. And there's been, a lot of hype behind this mobile game. I think I've never seen so much hype on a mobile game. I mean, in my opinion, in a long time. And, this Dragon Ball Legends game is something that I cannot fucking wait to get my hands on. I'm really getting excited about this motherfucking game. I really have no bullshit. Like I said, Dokkan was cool, but Dokkan is not my flavor. This is more my speed here. I'm talking about the graphics, the art style, the way that it's made. I just see myself playing this game. And once I read a little bit more about it and what was to come, I mean, I got even more excited. There's a character that everybody's been talking about online who, you know, Toriyama is responsible for, you know, actually drawing this guy. And what I know about this guy now is we know his name now, and his name is pronounced Shalat. I think that's the proper way to pronounce it. But all his characters are named after vegetables. I mean, and so supposedly this is some sort of vegetable. You know what I mean? I don't know what kind of vegetable that is. Maybe you guys do, but that's the premise of it. But what got me crunk about this fucking game is the fact that this guy is going to be, like, I guess, one of the main characters of the game. And what's also cool is that his clothes can actually be changed. Like, his shit is interchangeable. So there's different outfits you can get in the game by doing certain things or whatever. And you can actually change his gear. You can actually put him in, no bullshit, from what I've read, you can actually put him in the Turtle Hermit gi. You know what I mean? And maybe some other shit as well. So I'm just, the game seems to be fucking dope. I think they're going to be putting a lot of shit behind this game, kind of like they're doing with Dokkan. And I think Dokkan has competition now when this game drops. I really do. This is one I'll definitely be playing. I'm going to have it on a tablet and the fucking phone. So get ready. The release date, you know what I'm saying, is kind of hazy a little bit. I've been trying to get an actual date, but I can't find one. Really, all I can find out is that it's supposed to be sometime in the summer. That's all I know. Sometime in the summer. It could be early summer. It could be fucking late. Hopefully it's sooner than later. But that's what that is. And you guys, if you don't know about this game, you should definitely check it out. There is a trailer for it now available. You guys can check that out. But this is something that, you know, I'm excited for. And I don't get excited for mobile games like that. I really fucking don't. So this is one that, you know, I am definitely going to be playing. So that is Dragon Ball Legends, guys. And one other side note on this character, I mean, he's stated to be from a distant past. Now, don't get that twisted with the character from the Dragon Ball movie that's coming out, because they are not the same. I repeat, they are not the same character. Okay. That is definitely confirmed by Toriyama. So don't get it twisted. This is a separate character. Now, if this character will be integrated in the future and actually be marked as canon, that's going to be interesting. I think, you know, who knows? Wait and see. This game might blow up, and next thing you know, he's written into some arc or some shit. I don't know, man. He dresses kind of like Cabba is dressed. The tassels and shit in the front and all around his, you know, his armor or whatever. It looks similar, man. And Vegeta was talking about how, you know, that is the armor that Saiyans wore before, you know, even knowing anything about Frieza. And they had that relationship where, you know, they were basically, you know, farming planets for Frieza under Frieza's rule. So, you know, let's see where this goes. I'm really interested to see what characters are going to be available in this game. I hope, you know, they get the originals and they keep those in there. I got to have my boy Ten Shinhan in the game. That's just, you know, you guys know me. I'm a Ten Shinhan guy. I love him. He's got to be in here. Jiren has got to be in this fucking game. Okay, as well. Jiren has got to also be in fucking Dragon Ball FighterZ. I predict that he will be in FighterZ season 2, somewhere in there in season 2. He just has to. This motherfucker's too wet. You know, he's kind of like a Hit guy. Like, Hit blew up on the scene and he just kind of like took everybody. There's a lot of Hit fans out here now. He's definitely a cool character. He's not my guy. He's not my cup of tea, but I do respect the coolness of Hit. You know, like I said, I am a fucking Jiren guy now, and I've already got my first Jiren collectible. You know what I mean? And he looks fucking awesome. He's like 3 inches tall. And those little things are fucking pricey now. You know, there's another one I want where he's like standing up, but they want like $50 or $60 for him. And he's like 3 inches tall, man. He's a little, you know, Gashfon type of figurine or whatever. But I might get him though. I mean, you know, one day, before he gets too high or whatever. But hopefully they start mass producing some Jiren shit. Definitely gonna be designing some shirts, some Jiren t-shirts, guys, and I will let you know when that will be available, because you know this motherfucker is OP as fuck. He is. He just is. And I love him for it. But anyway, moving on from that, I thought to myself, what games am I looking forward to coming up? Because I haven't had a lot of time to play lately. You know what I mean? But what games have I told myself that no matter what the fuck is going on in my life, I will be sitting in front of my fucking TV and my gaming area and be playing. And really right now, there's two right now that I can fucking think of right fucking now. And one of them, you guys probably aren't going to argue if I say this because most of you guys might be playing this as well. And I'm talking about God of War. Yes, God of War is definitely a game I've been waiting on. April 20th, aka 420, for a Twinkie, whatever you want to fucking call it, big baller, is coming, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. And the reason why I'm excited about this game, guys, is not because it's a God of War game. I mean, God of War games are awesome, don't get it twisted, but this game is a brand new game. It's not like your other God of War games. And I'm talking about the way it plays, the way the camera's angled on you. I'm talking about even the story. They have finally decided to write an actual in-depth, layered down story about him as a character. I mean, he's going to have some depth. He's going to have a lot of fucking layers. And now he's got a son. So you're going to get to see him struggle to, struggle to basically communicate with his son, the awkwardness of it all and trying to teach him and keep him safe all at the same fucking time while trying to bury, his mother. It's definitely got what am I trying to say? It's definitely got a Last of Us kind of feel to it. And if you know anything about Last of Us, the game is fucking epic as fuck. I mean, everything down to the story, to the way it was laid out, even the fucking online gameplay. I played hours and hours upon hours on that fucking shit after the story. And I only bought it for the story. So that tells you something about this company. Naughty Dog is they're epic. But I can't wait to see how the story unfolds, the relationship between the two. And it's just so much to look forward to. And then, of course, he's still God of War. He's still vicious. He's still got that, you know what I mean? That explosive personality when he's pushed and when he needs to have it. So that is what I'm looking forward to, guys. Another game kind of that caught me off guard, caught me by surprise. It took me, it's a cute game. I guess you can call it a cute game. It's like a co-op RPG type of game. And the game is called The Swords of Ditto, Ditto. When I saw this fucking, when I saw this clip of this game, man, I instantly fell in fucking love, man. The art style is very colorful. It's bright. And it really is just looking like a slash, hack and slash RPG. Kind of reminds me of Zelda. It's got all kind of elements, from those type of games in it, kind of free roaming. It's just it's a very special game to me. I mean, it seems very special. And I'm thinking this is just an arcade game. I don't know. I doubt it'll be a physical release, but it's definitely got my money. And that's also a good thing because it's probably not going to be that expensive, maybe $15-20. And I'm definitely going to be picking that up. I definitely want to play that. If you guys don't know about this game, Google this shit, man. It's called The Swords of Ditto. This is a game that I'm going to be playing. Those are the only two that I can guarantee you guys that I will be touching. There are some honorable mentions here. And, Adventure Time, Pirates of the Enchiridion. I don't know how to pronounce that shit, man. It's a long fucking word and it's some crazy shit, but I'm a fan and I always have been a fan of Adventure Time, especially in the early seasons of Adventure Time. I love the show, have t-shirts. I mean, I just love Adventure Time, man. Those guys are crazy. But this game is supposed to be some kind of RPG type game. The world looks very cool. Well drawn. You feel like you're actually in, the world of Adventure Time. And it's something that, if I get around to, we'll definitely take a look at. I'll probably won't be buying it because like I said, there's so many other things going on and, you only have so much money to spend and, God of War has got that. And Swords of Ditto is just a, DLC game. So it's not going to be a full price game. So I can work with those two. As far as, everything else, I kind of just will wait and see kind of thing. Also, Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. That's another game that's coming out. I think that's coming out on the 17th. But that is definitely coming out this month, guys. And as a Yakuza fan, I recommend anybody fucking with Yakuza and checking that out. But I say honorable mention because, like I said, you only have so much money and you have to look at yourself in the mirror and make some decisions, especially if you have kids and all of that good shit, man. You know what I mean? You just have to watch your coins. You just do. When I start, doing some other things, hopefully these t-shirts take off. Hopefully some other things take off, man. And, I can devote more time to playing, and I can also devote more money as well. With that being said, guys, I mean, that is the motherfucking show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a quick rundown of, what I was doing, what I'm going to plan on doing moving forward, what I'm going to be talking about. There will definitely be some Boruto talk on the show coming soon. I told everybody this before in the previous podcast that Boruto is going to get good if people were impatient, because it started slow, and I know that, but it's definitely getting good, guys, especially if you're reading the manga, which I have not been reading, but I have been talking to some friends, and I'm trying not to read the manga. I want to see the anime, but man, I'm going to fuck around and I'm going to buy the manga. If anything, just to have it. Same thing I'm doing with Super. I'm going to get all the manga and just start collecting all the manga and eventually read the manga as well. Because, you just got to, man. That's, at least I do. Love the series so much, man. I got to pay homage. And the way I pay homage is, I support the series. You know what I mean? You got to support it. But Boruto is definitely getting good, guys. It's cooking up a lot of shit right now. And I knew Boruto was going to be dope. I just knew it. And especially, it's getting very interesting now. Now that everybody's getting into their ninja shit, but it's going down. Also, One Punch Man season 2. Gotta get some news on that. They basically let us know that it is coming. When we don't really know. There's no set date, but it is coming. So One Punch Man, if you guys don't know, which most of you guys at least heard of One Punch Man, I'm sure. But the series, if you have not checked out the series, man, I think it's on Netflix right now. I mean, you can check that shit out, man. Definitely worth your time. One of my favorite villains is in One Punch Man, and he's called the Deep Sea King. Google Deep Sea King. Google that motherfucker, man. Dude is fucking dope, man. I'm not going to say anything else. Just Google Deep Sea King. All right. Awesome character, man. I really like him. He's got swag. He's just a dope dude. But yeah, One Punch Man. These are the things that I'm, looking forward to watching. Also, My Hero Academia is also what I like about them real quick is the fact that they have English dubs already available for their shit. You know what I mean? Funimation has works with those guys. So you can watch My Hero Academia right now. I mean, with the English dub on season 1 and season 2. And season 3 is going to debut with the English dub on Funimation. So that little side tangent, if you guys are interested in just, the English version. I watched them both on Crunchyroll, so I had to watch it in Japanese with the text. But I'm always down to watch English dub if I can first. I just don't like a lot of the switchy swappies type shit. You know what I mean? Because I started Naruto on Netflix, the first 3 seasons in English, and then I had to fucking go to Crunchyroll and watch it, and I had to watch it all in fucking Japanese, and it kind of threw me off at first because when you're used to watching it, you know how it goes, and it kind of throws your mind off a little bit. But then now I'm used to watching it in Japanese, and I don't know if I could watch it in English. So when I do watch Naruto again, I'm going to make sure that I can watch it all in one language and do it like that. That's what I plan to do. Also, it makes it harder. I don't know about you guys, but it makes it fucking harder to remember the names. I think because there's a lot of names in fucking Naruto and I cannot remember them, but I know the characters so fucking well. And I think watching it in English will help me get those the second time around. But I've watched Dragon Ball hundreds of times, so that might also be the reason. I've only watched Naruto one run through, all 720 episodes, 6 weeks. That's a lot of shit. So yeah, I think I need to go through that again to wet my brain a little bit with that. But with that being said, guys, that's the show. I hope you enjoyed it. This is episode 60, so I feel like it's, a baby milestone, 60 episodes, man. That's pretty fucking good, man. You know what I mean? I have to say, pretty fucking good. Definitely check out the games I mentioned. If you don't know about them, I'm sure you know about God of War, but definitely check out the Swords of Ditto. It's awesome. The art style is just the shit, man. And as far as going forward with the anime and everything like that, I will be talking about more Dragon Ball. Now I'm starting to write my episodes more so now that there are no ongoing Dragon Ball episodes. So it helps me, in brainstorm topics and things of that nature. If you guys have any suggestions, what should I talk about next fucking week or the week after or the fucking week after that concerning Dragon Ball or anime period? Is there an anime I should check out that you want me to see? Is there a game that I'm sleeping on that I have not talked about and you guys might think I should do that? Hit your boy up, you know what I'm saying, on Twitter. I need to get back on Twitter. I've been slipping on Twitter as of late, but definitely if you send me a message, I will definitely get back to you. Same thing, you can email me at Studio MacGyver Music with a K at Studio MacGyver's Music with a K at yahoo.com. But check out the Facebook page and check out, my Instagram page is Studio MacGyver 79. So those are the easiest ways to get in touch with me, Instagram and Twitter. You know what I mean? So holla at your boy. Yeah. So I love you guys. Thank you for listening. You have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.